Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. As we continue to follow this breaking news, we do know about 100 protesters are inside Trump Tower in Manhattan right now. Taking you out live to the scene. This is just one of the many shots that we are getting in here to our Live Now from Fox newsroom. I do just want to turn up the audio for a moment to see what we can hear before I read you the details. All right, so it does appear that there is no audio on this, but as you can see, there is a police presence inside. And here's what we do know as of right now. Demonstrators from a Jewish group are filling the lobby of Trump Tower to denounce the immigration arrest of a Columbia University activist who helped lead student protests on the campus against Israel's war in Gaza. The Jewish Voice for Peace protesters are wearing red shirts, as you can see, and it says, quote, "Jews say stop arming Israel." They're also carrying banners reading, "Opposing fascism is a Jewish tradition," and "Fight Nazis, not students." And they're saying, "Bring Mahmoud home now." And again, if you aren't familiar with this story, Mahmoud Khalil is a permanent U.S. resident who is married to an American citizen and who hasn't been charged with breaking any laws, but he was arrested outside his New York City apartment on Saturday, and he is now facing a deportation. President Donald Trump has said Khalil's arrest was the first of many to come and vowed on social media to deport students who he said engage in pro-terrorist, anti-Semitic and anti-American activity. I do want to see if we have any more shots. We do have one outside here as I continue to read to you. You can see protesters are also outside the building. Let's turn up the sound here and listen in really quickly.
Why you're here today? I'm here because my grandparents were Holocaust survivors, and growing up I was always told about their experience in the Holocaust and my family that died in the Warsaw Ghetto. And what we're seeing right now in Gaza is a genocide, and I was always taught growing up to fight any genocide wherever it was happening. And what we're seeing is that the Trump regime is continuing the genocide in Gaza and attacking our freedom of speech here in the U.S.
And that was just outside of Trump Tower, but I did want to bring you back to this image, as it does look like some people may be getting arrested right now inside of the lobby of Trump Tower. Again, this is all in protest here of the effort to deport a pro-Palestinian Columbia University activist. And we are also getting some social media reaction in from Tom Homan, the border czar. He says, a quote, "Breaking in New York, wish it was good news, but more protesters are out and getting physical while demanding the anti-American Mahmoud Khalil to be released. Now they're trying to take over Trump Tower in New York City. Stay safe, New York." We are going to keep an eye to see if we're getting any more reaction in here on social media. But I did want to take you just back out live right now to this image as I do continue to share with you what we do know. Police are staged inside and outside this Fifth Avenue building. And this was ahead of the protest. So they were staged before all of this did begin. That's according to the Associated Press. Khalil's supporters say his arrest is an attack on free speech and have staged protests elsewhere in the city and around the country. We've been bringing those to you here on Live Now from Fox over the past several days or so, and hundreds demonstrated yesterday outside a Manhattan courthouse during a brief hearing on the case. Khalil was being detained at an immigration detention center in Louisiana, where he has remained after a brief stop at a New Jersey lockup. Columbia was a focal point of the pro-Palestinian protest movement that has been sweeping across U.S. college campuses this last year. Khalil's wife is pregnant with their first child and she says that he finished his requirements for a Columbia master's degree in December. He was born in Syria. So I do want to just turn up the sound again, as this is a breaking news situation that we are bringing to you here live. Let's listen in and see what we can hear. All right, well, we are getting multiple angles here, so I do want to head back to, looks like, an interview with a protester here outside of Trump Tower on the street. Let's listen in.
protester against Israeli action in Palestine, I think you know you've maybe crossed some kind of fundamental value for America. What's your name again? Morgan Spector. How do you spell it? Morgansbector.
I hear you. Hi, could you come on with me? Thank you. What's your name? I know you.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Morgan.
Can you get your name for the camera?
Yes, my name is India. What's your name?
David.
David. It's very nice to meet you.
Spell your name first.
I as in igloo, N as in Nancy, Z as in dog, Y as in yellow, A as in apple.
Excellent. So why are you here today?
Well, I joined my Jewish colleagues and friends and community members to stand up against the ways that Judaism is being weaponized against a population of vulnerable people. We see historically the ways that religion has been used and weaponized to persecute people who are already vulnerable. We've seen that in the civil rights movement. We're seeing it right now with trans people. And really, it's very upsetting and very sad and hurtful, to say the least, to see something so beautiful being weaponized and being used to justify something so horrible. And, you know, it's even more scary that this is something that the average person is still confused about. You know, most of us, the principles that we're raised on, the morals that we have about treating people justly, to be kind, to be considerate, to not make assumptions, to leave judgment to the Creator, all these things are lost. And in fact, people are using their faith now to cause harm and to hurt each other. So we're here to say not in our name, not in the name of Jews will we continue to cause harm, not in the name of Islam will we continue to cause harm, not in the name of Christianity we will continue to cause harm. And so we're here to raise our voices in solidarity with Mahmoud, who is being illegally detained, who is kidnapped by the United States government illegally. And, you know, they're trying to spin a story and say that his views for making sure that Palestinian families and unarmed civilians are safe from the persecution of Israel is in alignment with Hamas and terrorism. And so it's really, really confusing to see the ways that terrorism is being used to define peace and the call for it.